Yikes, BLM founder in big trouble after tax filings reveal what she's really been up to. During the summer of love height of Black Lives Matter rioting in 2020, countless Americans gave their hard-earned money to a movement they believed was going to somehow stop injustice and help Black lives. Now the truth is coming out about the whole thing. It appears the only Black life Black Lives Matter really improved was founder of the group, Patrice Cullors. Newly released tax filings reveal how she used BLM charity donations to pay friends and family millions of dollars for consulting services. Some of the biggest payments went to the people closest to Cullors. The father of her child, Damon Turner, was paid $970,000 to produce live events and provide creative services. Her brother, Paul Cullors, scored $840,000 for security services. $2.1 million went to Shalamia Bowers, a close ally of BLM and former deputy executive director, for consulting on operations and hiring. Cullors also paid herself $120,000 in consulting fees and purchased several lavish properties with the funds. At one point, she even chartered a private jet with BLM funds. The bombshell tax filings also show that out of the $90 million in donations BLM solicited during the racial justice protests in 2020, it invested $32 million in the stock market to the benefit of its founder. At least 2 state attorneys general are already investigating the organization, and this new information will only fuel their case against Patrice and BLM. Breaking: Biden's Ministry of Truth is over. The Biden administration recently announced the creation of a disinformation governance board meant to regulate speech on the internet. After much criticism, the board has officially been put on hold, and the head of the board, Nina Jankovic, has resigned. Just 3 weeks after the board was introduced to the public, vocal opponents of the DGB criticized it as an Orwellian censorship tool. Conservatives pretty successfully relabeled it as Biden's Ministry of Truth in honor George Orwell's classic and creepily accurate novel, 1984. The controversial head of the board, Nina Jankovic, drafted her own resignation but seemed to leave some possibility of returning to the post. White House Press Secretary Karine Jean-Pierre said the reason for the pause was that the board suffered from mischaracterizations from outside forces. In other words, the administration believes that the disinformation board was overwhelmed by disinformation. Watch the press secretary explain.
In that period, but the departments work across several administrations to address disinformation that threatens the security for our country is critical and will continue. So that work is going to continue.
So if it's pausing because you think the board was mischaracterized, then the disinformation board is being shut down because of disinformation? Is that what's happening here?
Look, I mean, the board was put forth for a purpose, right? To make sure that we really did address what was happening across the country when it came to disinformation. It's on. But no, it's just going. It's going to pause. There's been a mischaracterizations from outside forces, and so now what we're going to do is we're going to pause it, and we're going to do an assessment. But the work doesn't stop. We're still going to continue the work. The DHS is still going to continue the work.
Okay. There's a bulletin now.